Welcome to Loleventvods. Watch the full game of today's LTA 2025 matchup.
Just blind to tank. You ban one tank. You know, Kassante's already gone from last game.
Yep.
Usually Impact doesn't go that far outside of his kind of core couple tanks, and usually when he's off those S tier tanks, he actually goes towards carries and bruisers and stuff.
Sure, yeah. So what would be the focus then? What do you think would be that tank here for Dignitas? Because right now it's Ivern Gallier, so they only have a chance for one more.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're really worried about like lane swaps in particular, Sion to me is always one of those kind of S tier tanks in a lane swap because, you know, even if you were able to dive it, which is so hard already, the zombie form does make it almost impossible to keep down. You can get so much of that gold, just keep you right back. So if I was worried about that, I would be thinking that. But I don't think Dignitas is going to be too concerned. I think they knew when they picked a carry and they picked double range bot lane that TL was likely to lane swap. So maybe it's going to be more about them just trying to scout, get better info at level 1, and maybe try to swap to actually match it and get those you know, even lanes, even if it's Australia style.
I think I like that. The bigger issue with that last game is exactly what you said. It wasn't the fact that a lane swap happened, it's the fact that they didn't do their kind of scouting to see, oh, Surdy was not safe to walk into that tri-brush. I think he's going to learn from that going into this next game. As now we see the first wave of bans. It's still Jace now with Mbessa and Skarner first round for Team Liquid.
Yep, so a couple of those really popular kind of high mechanics picks going to be thrown out on bans. Those are also things that Surdy would have played a lot of in solo queue. You know, Jace has just been such a staple in solo queue for forever. Yeah. And when you think about kind of solo queue top laners now, Mbessa is so popular. But this Aurora coming in here definitely could be top lane Aurora. It could be for Surdy. Also could be for Kaney. You know, occasionally you do see people do some stuff like where they're really trying to cook and they do a support, but I don't really like that at all, to be honest. So it's mostly just in the solo lanes. But definitely could be Surdy or Kaney playing this. Corki is kind of more of a bot laner these days, so that's where I'm expecting it to go, but we know APA has played so much of it. Definitely could be going mid lane if they feel like it's appropriate for the matchups.
Keeping it flexible. Could expect maybe a support to be locked in here, so that way they can hold that Corki for later in the draft. See what the priorities are right now, and it's Pantheon! All right, I'm excited. One of my all-time favorite champions.
Yeah, and this is actually something that CoreJJ has done in the past, playing that Pantheon support. He has had some really good games on it, some very dominant games. So it could be Core, it could be Umti.
Yeah.
You know, we could see them actually flexing around here. These days, we're seeing it quite a lot as jungle in competitive play.
Exactly.
So it is quite popular for that, but I don't think that it's guaranteed to go jungle. I just kind of bring up Core because he has had some really standout games on Pantheon support.
Yeah, both of their picks so far are still flexible, and in the LPL, they've been playing a lot of Pantheon in the jungle position. So Nocturne's going to be the answer for Lyra here, as Dignitas will look to lock in their third champion. So Nocturne into Pantheon, that would be an interesting jungle matchup.
And I mean, it's kind of one of those classic top side, assuming this is going to be a top side Aurora, you know, going to top lane, you have a flanker plus Nocturne. That's kind of the classic combo. Ken and Nocturne was one of the old ones. This is kind of just the same thing, where you turn out the lights, and all of a sudden, someone is going to be flanking you, but your wards aren't giving you that info of where they're coming from. It's very hard to react. You know, generally teams kind of ball up, they back up as the Nocturne all comes, because you want to be able to assist whoever it is,
and then
you're grouping up for exactly, you're grouping up for that potential Aurora ultimate. So that can make things difficult. It is going to be Talia coming through. This makes me think it's more likely to be a jungle Pantheon because Talia plus Pantheon is such a powerful combo. Point and click stun plus the seismic shove is really, really strong.
Hear me out though. Remember the old dark technology. Pantheon Talia bot lane? Huh? Corki mid?
So. It's possible, but I don't think
I just wanted to throw it out there just in case.
I respect it.
Because then I look big brain.
They could be cooking, right? You know, these still can all really be flexed around. You know, Talia can even go into the jungle. You know, so obviously there is opportunities to really swap things around. It's not usually TL's style to super cook. Usually if it's like, it usually goes there. That's where TL's putting it, right? You know, they're more about just kind of solid macro play, less about surprising you in draft. So we'll find out, but I am right now operating under the assumption this is AD carry for Yon as the Corki, and it's going to be Talia mid and Pantheon jungle.
But part of the reason why we talk so much about the flexibility here is because it's called Fearless Draft. If I'm Dig, I'm afraid because you still don't know exactly where they're going, and you could always draft yourself into a corner.
Yeah, I mean, if you try to really over-index and you're saying, okay, we're going to like hard counter this pick. We're going to go, you know, one specific way to try to shut something down, and then all of a sudden, okay, this is a horrible matchup.
Yeah.
Well, now you can just flex it around and kind of dodge that. So TL definitely going to keep those options open here. We're waiting for that final ban.
Look at this. The Respect Camille ban, by the way. Kind of got snuck under the radar there, but Surdy, this is one of the champions he climbed to that record-breaking solo queue LP with. He was saying maybe wasn't great for his competitive play because all he was doing was picking Camille Jags every game and pushing, but still Camille can be pulled out in competitive too.
Well, and mechanics do transfer over, right?
Yes.
That is one of the things is that, team fighting, yes, it's going to be different at an organized level, but how you actually play out these 1v1s, how you play out these different situations, how you're mechanically able to use these champions, especially some of the complex ones, really does transfer over. And when people talked about this matchup, and people have talked about this top lane matchup a lot, Surdy himself was confident in saying, hey, Impact is really good and better than me at a lot of things that I don't think I'm that good at, but I think I am better at the things I am good at, right? The things like laning, like mechanics, he has that confidence there. So, you have to be willing to bring those kind of picks out. It is going to be the Renekton top here.
You know what I love about this? It still doesn't tell us where the Corki Pantheon and Dalia are going, technically. We weren't expecting either to go top.
Yeah. No, it's true. I mean, there still is the opportunity for it to be flexed around. I'm still working under the opinion of support is open, and Core is going to counterpick support, and then they're going to play for the 2v2 with that.
Which it's not going to be the Braum or the Rel. Those have been banned away, and there are engage options right now. We have the Flanker, we have the turn the lights off with the Nocturne. Now we have the engage with the Leona locked in for Dignitas.
Yep, so Leona going to be coming through, waiting for this final pick here over on the other side to find out, is this going to be, going top lane with the Aurora, or do they want to swap it up and actually put something else top and put Kaney on that Aurora? If this does get locked in, and it is the knock wave combo, so popular, you ult in, and it doesn't actually tether the ultimate, so you can use the Orianna Shockwave off of that if you time it well. It is almost impossible to avoid if the people using it don't mess it up. It's really more about how you can time it on the offense than how you can react to it as far as the defense goes.
How coordinated are you as the people pressing the buttons?
Yep, exactly. So now we're going to find out, what is it here for TL. So they are going to make a swap. So it is going to be Core JJ Pantheon support, and it will be the Talia there going mid. The Vi will go into the jungle. So it is that last second flex. I was thinking it was going to be, Pantheon in the jungle, but of course I mentioned Core known for this. He's really, really strong. This is definitely, I think, less for the 2v2, especially against something like Ezreal, where he's so evasive.
And a Leona that's hard to kill.
We're just going to try to push in, and I'm going to try to move around the map here, and it's going to likely be, this kind of roam squad here with Core and MT moving around. You're utilizing the tremendous amount of CC they have with their soul laners. Either you set up with the CC for the seismic shove, or you follow up on that stun from the Renekton. Both these soul lanes, really, really powerful to attack. And you look over on the other side, these are not durable carries. These are, carries that especially, you have the invisibility, you have, some ways to escape as Surdy, but if you're pushed all the way up, you're just going to get locked down 100-0.
And I'm a little surprised that Core JJ would choose to play the Pantheon for a lot of those reasons you were just saying. I actually was leaning more, it's going to go jungle, maybe something like an Alistar for the support, but I'm not going to complain. I play a lot of support Pantheon, one of my favorite all-time champions in League of Legends, and now I get to see the NA support GOAT pilot it right now, Core JJ himself. In game 2, already up in the series. Let's see if Team Liquid is able to 2-0 this one, or if Dignitas, off of the backs of Surdy, the new prospect coming up in the top lane, are able to even us up 1-1. We're getting in to game number 2. Everyone here at the Riot Games Arena, how we feeling about the Pantheon support, about game 2? Dignitas versus Team Liquid Honda.
APA already yapping it up in all chat here. He says, how's the prep for DSG going?
Oh, that's some S-tier yapping right there.
Oh, man.
Now he's
never change
on him. Oh, so you're just outing him. The screen can't see that.
That's okay.
He thought that was in confidence.
No, he didn't. It was in all chat. It was not in confidence. But it's going to be a fun one. And I'm excited to see how this does work out. TL again going, kind of much more early mid-gamey, especially this game. Look over at the scaling on the other side. I favor Dig, but we'll see how they're going to be able to do. And we have Emily standing by for an interview with APA's mom. What do you think about the trash talk?
All right, so the first thing the casters told me to ask you, Stacey, is what do you think about your son's trash talk? How would you rate it? Did you teach him?
No, I did not teach him that. Absolutely not. I'm not the trash talker in the house. No, not at all.
So who is outside of your son?
Okay, I am the swear person in the house. But in regards to trash talking, I don't know. I think that's just who he thinks he needs to be up there. It's okay. It's okay.
I like that. I've always really appreciated that about him, and also how reflective he is about his own play. Just generally, coming here, supporting your son, what's the experience like? I know for me, I get terrified when my parents even find my YouTube videos. So, what has your general experience been like at the LCS, and how bright do you think his future is here?
I hope he's here for a long time. That's the plan anyways. I'm proud of him. We've watched our kids through all the different sports, through wrestling, through football, through volleyball, through cheerleading, through track and field, through cross country, everything. Like, my kids played everything, and just to see him play at this level is absolutely amazing. Super proud.
Thank you so much for taking time. It was amazing to meet you. We'll throw it back to the game. Take it away, casters.
Round of applause for APA's mom. I see APA's dad. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Is she the smack talker in the family? Did APA get it from? No, okay, we got it.
She's giving us a so-so.
We're getting us a so-so. Level 2 hit earlier from Core JJ
Smart
and
man.
Jan down there. They shoved the wave in.
Even if she is, don't admit that.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good point.
Exactly.
That's a good point. But no early action other than that here in the early game for Team Liquid Dignitas Game 2.
But this is actually the first Pantheon support we have seen in the LCS, now LTA, since 2021 summer, I believe, with Sword Art playing it as Pantheon support. So it has been quite a while. Obviously, it is a pick that is kind of picking up here. And we can see Surdy on the top side is going to be playing Grasp. And look at this tail of the tape here. Not looking so good for Impact. Ooh.
Man, yeah.
9-11 his last 20 solo queue games.
He's got to step it up a little bit.
0 NACL and collegiate titles.
What does this mean for his legacy, really? I think is what it...
Nothing good. I'll say that
good.
much.
Nothing
you
good.
Know? He may be the reigning MVP, but how many collegiate titles did you win in North America?
A big fat donut
0
is the answer right there. So Surdy obviously ahead here in the 1v1 in terms of stats. But also in terms of confidence right now, but we'll give it to that later. Isles actually goes in with the Zenith Blade. Or JJ's just trading with him. And this is part of why I don't like the Pantheon into Leona. You're just tankier as the Leona and actually do a decent amount of damage with your AD carry behind you. Both junglers are there. And Umti actually misses the Vault Breaker, so now Lyra going to go for the Fear. Core JJ is walking up if you spell shield correctly as Lyra. This is great, but Isles actually goes in. That's first blood for Lyra. Dignitas' jungler stepping up.
Nicely done. The coach turned jungler gets the first blood onto Umti here. It was a swing and a miss with the Vault Breaker, and also it was a late flash on the Zenith Blade that allowed the Zenith Blade to connect. And then once that connects, it doesn't matter if you flash or not, the Leona's coming with you, so he goes through, loses the flash, gives first blood. That is a rough start for Umti, especially off of last game where I do not think he had a good showing. You know, definitely has been one of the players that has received a lot of criticism on this roster.
Ooh!
And
Whoa! Surdy with the flash weirding, missing from the flash of impact. He might look for more. Twofold Hex. Cooldown can come back up right now, and he doesn't land the damage, but still, Surdy pressuring Impact.
Yeah, going very hard towards the lane here. Umti going to back it up. Feels like, oh, maybe they know that I'm coming.
APA. This is in trouble. Flashing over from Isles. Has the Q plus the Zenith Blade. APA, nice seismic shove, though, keeping Kaney away.
And he procs Phase Rush there, you know, so you proc Phase Rush, you're just going to be able to walk it on out. Surdy, you know, really emphasizing the lane with the Grasp here on the Aurora. Obviously not a great team fighting rune for the most part, but it is really powerful in these kind of matchups. You push in, you're always going to have shove in this kind of a matchup, and then you're just harassing the Renekton relentlessly under tower, especially when he's trying to go for those range minions. Every time he steps up, you hit the weirding, you hit the twofold hex, you're getting those Grasp autos in, and you're just constantly chunking him down and really trying to, you know, make his life a nightmare. Impact has already based and come back. You know, he did build towards those Merc Treads, which he's going to need this game. Anytime there's a Leona and you're playing frontline, you basically need to build them anyway. But we'll see when Surdy is actually going to base and what he's going to be able to grab.
And you're solo frontline as Isles, so you're going to want to make sure that you are in a good position to just live and absorb the damage, because there's going to be a lot of it on Team Liquid's side, as Core JJ again just poking him out.
A little Frost Bomb off of that, just getting a bit of poke. Isles is down summoner, so he has to be somewhat careful. Obviously, they did get that first blood over onto Umti, and so that was well worth it. Then gets a little bit of pressure on mid lane, but no flash, and his Ignite is also still down for about 10-15 more seconds. So you want to play pretty respectfully for now. Surdy does award this out. He is 6 now, so even if you go for the gank, it's probably not going to happen. Instead, Umti's just going to start up the grubs here and look to see what he can make happen with that.
Let's see if Lyra goes for a gank or if he goes for the dragon trade. Right now, it looks like sweeping. Thinking about the idea of wrapping around this Tri-Brush.
It's so hard to make happen, I feel like.
Well, Core and Jan have been playing so aggressive, so if Isles is able to make something happen, here's Zenith Blade in, but Valkyrie away for Jan, and big damage trade onto Isles. That's Ignite down. One more Q from Core should have it, but he's stunned up. Tomo goes in. Core with the flash forward for the kill trade.
Yeah, going to be able to go 1-for-1. That's actually really good for TL at the end of the day, because Lyra's wasting his time.
Yeah.
You know, sitting down here, he was not doing the dragon. You got all 3 grubs, and you traded 1-for-1 in a 2v3. So Core going to be feeling really happy. That was kind of the summoner advantage that he traded out. The Ignite came back up for Isles, but he did not have his flash. Core was able to get something from that. Dignitas now going to be trying to start this dragon, but of course it is very late, and that means Umpty is here, APA is here, and they're moving for it. We'll see if they can contest.
Can Dignitas secure it? APA throws up the wall so they don't have an escape path over the Dragon Pit wall. They do get the steal. Umpty takes it out as Kaney trying to buy space here. Tomo stuck in the pit, doesn't have the flash available. He's looking for the Arcane Shift, but it's not coming up. APA with a kill for the team.
Nicely done, TL, able to re-engage there, punish the loss of tempo with Lyra staying down for so long. Had he just started up the dragon, he would have been able to easily make that trade happen.
Yep.
Instead, it ends up getting stolen away, and they get the kill onto Tomo. So a nice punch back there from TL and a big play from Umpty to be able to steal that away.
Yeah, much like fumbling a bat, he's going to be thinking about that one for a while. It's going to, again, just wasting the time. He's still level 5, I think, right now as he's gone back to the base. But let's get another replay at that.
Yeah, it's kind of just the drive-by. No one on Dig is really zoning him out. I think their thought process is, okay, we'll all play down towards the bot side, and then we'll get the dragon, and we'll just run for it, because we're not going to win the fight. But at the end of the day, that is not what ends up happening. Lyra has to flash out. Tomo did not have the E available here. He was trying to reset it, hitting those Mystic shots. Couldn't quite get the cooldown back up. So TL gets the kill. They get the flash. They get the dragon. And that is now 2 of 3 on the objectives for the feats of strength. They're going to be feeling really good about that. Thinking of the next set of grubs.
2 and 2 in kills, so whoever gets the next one here will be earning themselves that one. And then it would come down to the tower. But Team Liquid has an opportunity to just get it on this next spawn.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we'll see, because especially if it's going to be contested, because if you're saying as Dig, no, we don't want to give up this third objective here, you go and fight. If TL gets 1 kill and the dragon, or 1 kill and the the grubs or whatever, then they have that feats of strength immediately. So definitely does put a little bit more pressure on it.
But if you're Dignitas, you have the level 6 Paranoia combo with Kaney. So if you're the one to get that first kill, no flash in Core JJ, but he gets away. Fun fact, the E, if it's full stacked and you stop using it, gives you extra move speed. So a little tip for all the would-be Pantheon players out there if you need to get out of a pinch. But
is that a lot? Running away?
You didn't have to bring it up.
I've played with your Pantheon.
You flamed my Pantheon on broadcast before, but
now I have again.
We'll have a running count for production have. But the point I was making is Lyra and Kaney do have the combo. So yes, if Team Liquid get the first kill, they're first of 3. But Dignitas have the option to pull the trigger and be the ones to set up that play and actually find it first, which would help slow down Team Liquid's opportunities to get that. But APA, ooh, flash out of Kaney. Good reaction time from the Orianna pilot, but still rough position all the same as now Isles goes in. Big damage traded back here. Jan's just looking at Tomo. Phosphorus bombs and missile barrage are doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, he's kind of unloading on. They're trying to bait them in, though, because Lyra is playing right over the wall. But Umpty's now in the area. APA's in the area with the ult, so it would be a hard play to go for. Umpty just going to Q blind over the wall there. And does have the support of his team, so feeling confident that he's going to be able to be okay in that situation.
This is one of the best things you can do with the support Pantheon as a jungler. Just say, hey, link up with me. I'm Vi, I can start the fight. Your Pantheon, you can chain the CC. You have a lot of damage up front in the kit, so they can actually 100-0 a lot of champions on Dignitas' side. I'm happy to see Core JJ just at the hip of Umpty right now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just such a strong duo. We talked about the power of linking up with both the soul laners as well. Right now, they're playing around APA. They know that Kaney lost his flash, so if he were to walk down towards bot, easy flash stun. You get the seismic shot off of that. That's probably a kill. So instead, it's going to be Surdy sent down here. A little bit safer there on the Aurora, but all things said, we haven't checked in on top lane in quite a long time. It is pretty much dead even. Actually, a 2 CS lead now for Impact. So Impact withstanding the early pressure as he has done throughout his entire career. He is so good at loss mitigation. You put him in a bad matchup, he barely ever gets behind. He almost got solo killed. Surdy couldn't make it happen, and then as a result, hasn't been able to extend really any lead.
Yeah, the top lane has been pretty quiet ever since the almost solo kill that Surdy got early on, but Impact has stabilized. It's dead even in CS right there. But now they're on opposite sides of the Rift, and Dignitas have first dibs here on the Grubs, but they actually are making 2 different plays. One goes mid, the other goes top now as they're looking at Core JJ. They got it. 3rd kill for Dignitas as now Cease and Desist used here onto the front line. No more W shield, but now between worlds, Surdy got out of Jan. Weirding for the damage and gets the kill for the team. First one for Surdy.
Yeah, nicely done. Surdy hit absolutely everything there. Both sides of the Q, of course. Hit the E as well, weaving in those autos. So not able to dodge anything as Jan was kind of sidestepping back and forth there, but couldn't avoid it all. And Core barely did not have his flash. Got caught by that shockwave before he could get the E up to block any of the damage. So it looked like he got snapped in.
Ooh, but now Umpty's looking for a play here on to Kaney with APA setting it up. Core JJ over the top. 2 assists with kill credit to Omthi. TL, make a play.
Also looking like Core is actually going for Heartsteel Pantheon. So
I just noticed that too, yeah.
I mean, traditionally, when you see this in solo queue, especially its lethality, people just go heavy towards the AD. But I think this is more consistent, of course. You know, he's basically saying, hey, I didn't super snowball, so I'm just going to be kind of a point-and-click stun, and I'm going to absorb damage, you know, with the E, get a little bit of damage in with that Heartsteel proc, and just try to be this, like, tanky, annoying setup, basically, for my teammates.
And I'm wondering what abilities he's maxing, because if you're going for just like a W max instead of a Q max,
it is 3 points Q.
3 points Q. So he's still going for that more damage right now, but eventually you could just pivot to say, yeah, I'm just going to go all in on that one. You also get extra bonus armor and magic resist when you have the full stacks on your E shield once it expires. So yeah, he's going to be very tanky with this build, but is that going to be what the team needs?
Well, it's always the question, too. It's like, you can do a build that shores up a champion's weakness, or you can do a build that really accentuates the strengths, right? So, you know, you do always kind of end up with that question of, okay, well, if you're going to go tank Pantheon, would it not have just been better to go Alistar, or, you know, something along those lines?
Exactly what I was thinking about in pick, yeah.
Exactly. So that's always kind of one of those questions. But I do think there's a lot of validity to just changing your build based on what is happening in the game, right? You know, just kind of autopiloting full damage when you're not snowballing. You're often not going to be strong enough, and then you're just paper in the team fight. So he's just saying, hey,
stop the back. They actually are thinking of making a play on the Caney right here. APA is walking up. If Caney walks too far forward, he's in trouble. Blast Cone's available. Weaver's wall, but he has an avenue to get away from there. Flash from CoreJJ with the seismic shove. Caney gets the ultimate off, and there's some more lockdown here from Isles, but the kill credit goes to Team Liquid.
Yeah, going to be able to get that kill, and that's the exact setup that you're talking about.
That's even more disastrous for Dignitas. Double kill to the tank Pantheon.
Yeah, both going to core there. That should be the Heartsteel likely completed. Man, that's got to be frustrating for Caney because he actually checked a lot of these brushes. You know, he walked through one brush, he throws out the
in trouble too.
Trinket.
How can this happen? Team Liquid just made a play bot side. Now they're making another play top side, and it looks like both are going to work out for him. Surdy jumping between worlds. He jumps back, but de-weighted around. Tomo now maybe baited. He's got a full health bar now. Big damage on the impact. He's eating forward. The Arcane shift aggressively because they have the paranoia behind them, but Team Liquid decide to back off.
Yeah, Surdy gets taken down, tries to use the between two worlds, kind of bounce back and forth, was playing it pretty well, but just locked down, CC'd up too early and lost so much of his health before going for that kind of little bit of an outplay. Couldn't actually make it happen. Tomo got over there, but couldn't finish off the kill either, and TL looking good again. Yeah. I've opened up here a 2,000 gold lead, and first tower, that is going to be the feats of strength.
There we have it, Team Liquid now picking them up. But I also want to give credit, Tomo jumping forward there. That was an aggressive move for the AD carry to play. And 2-1-1, he could be the saving grace here for Dignitas. They're a little behind in gold right now, but the game's not over yet. They were able to claw their way back in that game one and make it close, and I think a lot of it could happen off of Tomo's play this time around. I mean, I'm happy that he's in the league. Between his subbing in for 100 Thieves last year and now getting the starting spot here on Dignitas, also an AD carry with a lot to prove.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, he was able to sub in 400 Thieves, came in for Meech, and really was able to turn things around.
Yeah.
The team looked like it was really struggling, you know, at one point. And Tomo brought them some real stability. You know, he was able to come in, you know, for this team and help them get to Worlds, help them turn around a season and really surprise some people, upset some of these teams. So I think it was so impressive from him to be able to pull that off. And now, obviously, to have that and then get replaced by your team feels really, really bad. So I am glad to see him with another shot here. But, you know, talk about Impact a little bit more. Obviously, Impact has just had such a storied career. Got his start in the LCK, won a World Championship, but has been in the LCS now for so long. This is Impact stats versus the average LTA top laner, obviously including LCS stats. You know, he's played so many more games, so many more kills, so many more assists. It's like he's just been around for so long. And it also shows you the average career length is not that long in professional League of Legends, which is why it's so impressive to me that he has been able to keep his place at the top for a decade, for more than a decade now at this point.
How much of that average is just Impact is the question. Is Caney now getting played on here in the top lane? There's a Shock Blast, or Shock Wave, not going to be enough to save his life. Impact getting the kill credit as the teleport comes in, and Surdy's going to regret that one. CoreJJ now on a killing spree. 4, 2, and 3 on the tank Pantheon support. Team Liquid, find 2.
Yeah, TP's in immediately trying to bail out Caney, but by the time he gets there, Caney is already dead, so he just donates another kill there. That's tough, man.
Yeah. And now it's not only the kills, it's the Herald after the fact. As APA with the thanks.
Yeah. It's fair. Nice delivery, right on time.
And he saved time. He's that efficient with the yapping. It's the THX as opposed to typing out the whole word, you know? He's got to get back into the
Dude,
game.
TY. Got to optimize that build order.
You're right.
Yeah.
All right, Stacy, you can give some feedback for APA after the match.
We'll do the VOD review, not on the game.
Yeah.
We'll do the VOD review on the Trash Talk.
The APA Mom VOD review on Trash Talk.
Yeah.
We'll get that streamed as well.
Get him in on some type racer reps, you know?
Yeah. I've been making a lot of promises on broadcast that I don't think I can back up, but
That's okay. People forget very quickly what you've said. So you can kind of just say whatever you want. It's one of the beautiful things about it.
I'm going to say that's reassuring. But,
Or
you know,
concerning.
Yeah.
Or both.
Maybe a little bit of column A, column B. Right now, though, back into the game here. It's 17.5 minutes on the clock. The next Dragon just spawned, and look where Team Liquid is directly on top of it, but now Dignitas are contesting them for it. Now the lights go off, and there's the combo. They found APA, but he doesn't go down. They don't have the damage. Now there's no front line. 2 fall as Kaney will also drop. 3 kills to Team Liquid. APA just unkillable.
Yeah, APA tries to flash it, but they had the timing perfect. It just didn't matter, though, because he's Merc Treads, Verdant
it's not
Barrier,
over.
and Seraphs.
Tomo's now trying to get under the turret. Umti looks for the engage. Maybe it's too much, though. Surdy has a lot of damage. Tomo as well, and neither of them have taken that much damage themselves. So it's just going to be the turret. He'll look back to the Dragon.
I mean, APA just has such a tanky build. You know, Verdant Barrier, he has the shield as well, as I was saying, from Seraphs, has the Merc Treads. It is really tough to take him down. And yes, the flash did not actually disrupt the Knockwave combo. The Shockwave still hit, but he creates enough space away that some of the follow-up damage couldn't really come through. They couldn't finish him off, and that right there could be the death knell of Dignitas in this series. TL now so far ahead here. They're going to move to Soul Point. They're already massively up in gold. You know, closing on a 7,000 gold lead here. It's hard to think how Dignitas will fight.
APA taking some damage here. Surdy jumps in. Seismic Trap misses. Here comes Isles. APA no flash available. Is he tanky? Enough. I can't imagine a world where he gets away from this one. Locked down. Big damage. Shut down to Surdy.
Yeah, going to be able to finish him off, but you can see even there, it took a long time for them to be able to kill him. And you look down towards the bot side, they are pushing this in here with Impact, but, you know, for Dignitas, they are pushing up mid lane. There are objective bounties available, so if you can get in on some towers, maybe you can make it happen.
Ooh, Core JJ ulting into the mid lane just to push away Dignitas from the turret. Helps clear the wave, keep Beyond safe, and buying so much time. Impact who's proxying between the turrets right now. And this one should fall very shortly with this wave. Actually, he's slicing and dicing away because they realize they don't have vision on the mid anymore. There is still the Paranoia combo, but actually looking like not available. Do I see that on cooldown for Lyra there?
Yeah, Nocturne's ult is still on cooldown. Very long cooldown on this, of course. You know, he does have his experimental hexplate, you know, which is going to be pretty nice. You get the ultimate haste on that, as well as the Kindle gem in pocket. So going to be reducing the cooldown a fair bit, but it's just so tough when you're this far down. You really do kind of rely on limiting vision. You know, I talked a lot about, you know, this Nocturne plus Aurora combo. They haven't really been able to make that happen at all. It's just been that one kind of instance of the Orianna ult plus that Nocturne ult coming in. They haven't been able to get that flanking on top, where then all of a sudden, even if APA survives the initial burst, there's an Aurora on top of you, you start getting those kills, you maybe start running over the fight.
And this is part of what Surdy was even saying about his own play. With all the solo queue has been grinding, sometimes linking up with the team and playing the competitive side is a very different play style. Actually make sure that you're on that flank, ready for the team impact. All alone with APA behind him. That's a flash and Dominus to survive. So some cooldowns for Dignitas as they picked up.
Yeah, going to be able to get that out, but it was the Orianna ult. It was the Ezreal ult, so some cooldowns used on the other side here, too. A lot of roses out. They're going to go.
Yeah, Weaver's Wall used. Team Liquid's going to try and absorb this, and Lear just jumps straight through the Unraveled Earth. Now Team Liquid look to turn. Season Desist onto the backline. They're locking out Tobo. He gets out of there, though. Between worlds, big damage from Surdy as Impact is able to take one for the team. Jan wasn't there, but now he is. Now things are looking fantastic for Team Liquid. Flash Q from Core, not going to be in range for Surdy, who will jump away across the veil, but Dignitas losing multiple members, trading with Team Liquid, but still getting chased. I think they're out of there.
Two for two at the end of the day. That was a pretty close fight. A lot of low health bars on both sides. Potentially could have gone down. You see APA there, about 200 health remaining. Of course, we saw Surdy barely getting away. Will the ulti hit? No, casting. APA is not caught shopping. He's paying attention and does readjust just to make sure there's no chance of that actually hitting him. But Dignitas, not rolling over whatsoever. It's just like last game. They did get very far behind, but they're looking for fights. They're trying to make things happen. And 30 was able to get a lot done in this fight. They just charge in onto Impact. They know that he has no flash. His ultimate's expiring. Lyra took a lot of early damage here, though. But then look at 30 on the re-engage here. Great ultimate across pretty much the entire team. APA walks through the wall of it, so he takes that bonus damage, and he's kind of just bouncing back and forth, trying to get some damage down. But as soon as Jan joins, he wasn't there at the initial start of the fight. And really no chance to fight in against that Corki, who is quite powerful at this point.
Speaking of, as we come back to live, he just gets chunked out. As now again, Paranoia used Solar Flare. Looks like it missed. Oh no, he had the Verdant Barrier Shield. I think that it actually was able to save him right there. APA does not go down. That's again a long cooldown, like you said. Paranoia not going to be up for a while.
Yeah, the Verdant Barrier not showing as popped on Spectator, but I'm looking at in-game, so that shield did work. And was, absorbing at least one of those spells. But here comes the Pantheon ult. They're going to look.
Grand Star Fall as over the wall goes Tomo, but now he's stuck there. And here's Core JJ! Welcome to the pain cage as Jan now jumping in onto Surdy, who tried to get out of the back line, but instead goes down. Dignitas lose 2.
Yeah, talk about a rock in a hard place. that was a tough
literal rock and a literal hard place right there, yeah.
TP out to safety there by Kaney, but no such luck for Isles.
Isles now all alone. Nobody to save him, as he does have the flash available. Does he try and use it? Sending up Impact under the turret, but he will go down. Killing spree for Jan, and now Atacon available as the bounty for Team Liquid.
Yeah, they're going to be able to grab this, no problem. You can see that Dignitas isn't even on that side of the map. Kaney used his TP to go towards the top side, and APA might even find an angle to get a kill onto Kaney. He's going to look for it. Kaney's out of mana.
Very low mana, no summoner spells
Nocturne's
available.
coming, though. He has his ult.
Paranoia used. Oh, he actually pressed it. I don't know if you 1v1 this, Lyra. Yeah, I was almost wondering, do you just press it and then walk away? Because APA is probably going to be too afraid to walk up at that point. But either way, Lyra will save Kaney's life. Atacon still picked up by Team Liquid.
Yep, they grabbed the Atacon. It is the flash off of APA, so that's at least something nice for Lyra, but it is going to be so tough from this spot. Tomo ease over the wall,
I feel for him.
That ultimate from APA completely locks him up against the wall. This one, I think, was maybe an accident from 30. I'm not sure they intended to go in the backside. I'm not sure. Maybe he did. From the expression, he definitely didn't. Okay, that confirms it for me. I think he was trying to kite back and got a little bit too close, went over, tried to bounce right back again, but he was instantly CC chained by the Pantheon and the Renekton, and now TL are going to add Infernal Soul to their collection here.
Oof.
Objective dominance, back-to-back games here. That's back-to-back souls. They have the Otacon GA, they have the Infernal Soul, and they have a lot of poke here with the Corki as well as the Talia. A lot of easy ways to apply that Infernal Soul, so it's going to be so tough for Dig.
The exact kind of objective control that you want to see from a team like Team Liquid. They were one of the teams to beat for all of last year. Rough finals, yeah, but let's be honest, that was the Minions that lost them that game. So Team Liquid showing up solid here to start off 2025. Dignitas have been given a good fight, but it's looking like it might be close to the end here. 8,000 gold lead with the Otacon buff, with the Dragon Soul, and now all these turrets starting to fall down here. Team Liquid crack the tier 2 in the mid lane. As Impact's pushing in the bottom side, Dignitas, if they do make the play here, Baron's about to spawn, so you got to do this fast. Slice and dice away. He has the flash coming off soon. He's just buying the time. If Impact can just keep everyone on him for as long as possible, and Dignitas are just leaving. They realize, yeah, Baron's up. We cannot keep pushing on to Impact, I suppose.
But how do you even contest? You have no Orianna or Nocturne ultimate anymore now.
Yeah.
And you're fighting into the GA. So TL are just going to force here and look for the turn. They're going to go now.
A bizarre call, but now they're getting punished for it. Dignitas have to use summoners to get away. But hey, they pulled Team Liquid off of the Baron, so I guess that's something. Isles and Tomo now fighting on their own here. Core JJ taking a lot of damage. Big cooldowns coming off. The E used. Move speed forward, gets the W onto Isles. That's good for Tomo. Can he kite back? The Ezreal pilot. This is your moment. If you get the cooldowns, Impact's looking to flank around. He spotted. Tomo knows that he's there. But now topside, Impact going in onto, or Umti rather, going in onto Surdy. And APA teleported up. Jan finds Tomo. Dignitas falling apart at the seams as TL win the fight.
Yeah, they get the Otacon pop on both Core and Impact, it looks like, but they are already back up. They're going to run straight back out to the Baron. As soon as you can fight any sort of decent fight, you can just force the Baron right after it. And this time they're able to get 3 kills, to get really good. And I think this one is going to be a cleaner closeout than we saw last time around. They are just so far ahead, and they have so many engage tools, so many ways to start up the fight.
Yeah, I mean, just a bizarre play there onto Impact. I guess he was just looking like a porcupine in a petting zoo. Nobody wanted to touch the guy. You just let him be, go to the Baron, but
Wait,
they had already used
him, though. They were petting the
they
porcupine.
already used the abilities. Don't pet a porcupine, Dignitas. Unless you're sure you're able to take him out, I guess, but And analogy kind of fell apart at the end there.
Unless
Either
you got
way,
gloves, question mark.
some chainmail or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's just as simple as you're insanely behind. You see someone solo in a side lane, you say, all right, let's try.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, how are you going to come back in a game like this? Well, it's probably going to be a bunch of picks in a row,
Yeah.
realistically.
Rough
right?
timing.
You know, you'd already given over the Otacon, so there's not really any good play. So they're thinking, hey, maybe we can get a free kill on him, and then maybe reset, defend the base, you know, something like that. But of course, he's a very tanky member. They couldn't take him down, and now TL are closing in, looking to finish this out.
Isles now trying to front line, but he's just got no health bar, man. Surdy between worlds. That's a flash out from Jan as he will live through the paranoia. Lyra cannot take him out. Umpty will claim Kaney, and Team Liquid look to claim a series win, but Surdy, he's still up, he's still healthy. Shut down Gold, takes out APA, but can he get back to the base to defend? Long death timers. It's gonna come down to Surdy, and if he can hold the line.
That's a big if. Pretty much the entire enemy team is still alive. They have Dragon Soul. They're closing in, and Core's just going to waste his time here, and they're going to be able to close this one out.
Goes across the Veil. Surdy's trying to look for the damage. The Pantheon E gets a stun. Is he going to solo kill Surdy? Oh, JJ! The GOAT support making it look easy.
Oh my god, he's just styling on him. Kills off Surdy, ults in on the Nexus. That'll do it.
You thought it was Impact versus Surdy. It's Core JJ versus Surdy, and it's Team Liquid versus the rest of the league. 2-0 start to the season.
And it is an 8-0 weekend here
Wow.
for the LTA kickoff.